So one of the hardest parts when it comes to making snapshots is I usually test them out on other people, and I can't share their leads, their sales, and all that. So I then have to go recreate the stuff into another snapshot. Now, like I said, this isn't like a new thing. We have had hundreds of people use this system successfully. In fact, years ago, and I'm only bringing up this person's name because he's well known in the agency community. Jeff Miller had even got this program, and I have a screenshot somewhere of him telling me that he sent it out and started getting appointments from it right away. So there's been a lot of people who have used it and tried it. The thing is I put a few different takes on it because now I've brought it on to go high level. We don't have to string it all together, and also I've added AI stuff into it, and it works excellente. So the way that this pipeline here is set up is that until they are on a booked appointment, you don't need to move deals around. So like when you upload a bunch of leads into your contacts and then you push them into this pipeline stage, cold leads, that is all you have to do. And then they're going to start just dripping over into ringless voicemail. They're going to start going as people are replying. The deals are automatically going to move to replied as they have booked their appointment. It's automatically going to move into a booked appointment and all that good stuff for you. So you can, the reason I wanted to do that, and the tagging will take place as well, is because if you ever decide to build a dashboard with this, which we might even build a dashboard and put it in as like a bonus or something like that. But if you ever decide to build a dashboard for this, you've got everything with no human error for this portion of it. So essentially, you're going to have a bunch of leads that you're going to fill up into your contacts, which we'll discuss that in a few minutes or in a little bit. And you're going to push them into this cold leads pipeline. When you do that, I'm going to go to the automation just so you can see what that looks like. There's this workflow stage here called drip. And basically, when an opportunity gets created in the cold leads pipeline, it starts dripping. I put 100 leads roughly every hour. You can ramp that up or ramp that down however you want. A lot of it's going to depend on your Twilio account or your LC phone account, like what levels you've reached to maturity, because they score you differently based off of how long you've been with them. So you may want to start small and slowly ramp your way up, so that way you don't get flagged. Otherwise, if you've been with them for a long time and you have a mature account, you may be just fine. So it's going to drip that out. The other thing you need to know is that here in the settings, you're going to want to actually select the days of week that you want them to go out in the time frame. Now you have to do just a little bit of math here because, like, let's say I want 800 leads a day to get a voicemail drop. You're going to have to figure out in your vertical what the actual delivery rate is of the voicemail. So let's say that I send 100 voicemail drops. That doesn't mean 100 people got it, because it's possible that maybe only 60 people got it because some of them were landlines or something like that. So if that's the case, just kind of weigh out your numbers, work backwards from knowing about 2% of them are going to book of the people who put it out. So for instance, if I send out 100 leads and I end up getting out of that, let's just say one appointment, then I can go backwards and I can say, okay, that's only about 1% of people who booked. And then I can go reverse that and figure out how many likely landed, because the 2% is of landed voicemails. The software I used to use actually used to show you here's how many landed and things like that, which was kind of neat. Okay. So once you have this set up, then you just do the math and you say, okay, if I want 1,000 a day to go out and I want them to, and I'm going to have an 8-hour workday, then all I have to do is 1,000 divided by 8, make that how many the drips over every hour, and then just set your hours. And now it's good to go. And what's cool is once you do this, as long as you keep an eye on your opportunity stage, like your pipeline, you can see how many are in there and you can say, okay, I've got a few days before I need to refill it. We used to be able to scrape everything just for the month and we'd put it in there, and that thing would just be cooking all month long. It was incredible. So once it goes over here, it lands into this ringless voicemail sent. And I'm going to pause the video here because the next video on the ringless voicemail sent it's not just the automation, but it's also scripting and tonality and how those things work.